Reversing the listening favor. February 11, 2014. Listening is essential to any one of you that wishes to become an effective communicator or to be able to relate better with others, and it is just as important as your skill of speaking. What we see more often, unfortunately, is so many dear souls are focusing on speaking so much that they have forgotten how to listen. It makes no difference if you are interacting with only one other person or in a group. Learning how to focus on what others are saying and sharing will aid you to present what you are trying to convey much more effectively. It is true, dear ones, when you listen actively and well, you are able to learn so much more. Next time you have the opportunity to listen, be it in your lunchroom at work, at home, or even in a lecture room, become observant of other people not tuning in or not listening. You will quickly see the blank stares, far-off look, or even glassy eyes from those not focusing on what is being said. You will also quickly determine just how many people, if you are in a group, are actually actively listening to the person who is doing the speaking. It is hard to grab the attention of someone who isn't paying attention because they have never practiced or honed their listening skills, but it is not impossible for someone to improve upon. When it is your turn to speak, regardless if it is only to one person or to a group, we know how much you like it when what you are saying is being heard and listened to. So if you like it when others are focusing on what you are sharing, why is it then so hard to reverse the favor? We know you are hit with many temptations and distractions throughout your day, but is it that hard for you to give someone your undivided attention and truly listen to what they are trying to say, to be focused on what is being shared? The dear souls that have difficulty listening or paying attention will not only be considered as being rude, but they will increase their likeliness of missing out on pertinent information. Due to lack of attention from not listening, someone who is poor at listening will be challenged when it comes time to process any information they have gleaned, thus causing their ability to listen to suffer even more. There are many studies done by trained individuals that make it their life work understanding why people do what they do. It has been determined by such individuals, the dear souls that fidget the most during meetings or during conversation, giving the appearance of boredom and disinterest, also carry low social skills. It is essential to your personal growth and development to understand how your listening skills developed over time. The social skills you have developed since a youth and early adulthood will remain with you most of your life. If you are unable to make changes to your social skills during the years when change is easier, making changes later on becomes harder simply because you become more set in your ways. You see this often when working and dealing with the elderly folk of your community. It is much harder for them to change because they have become so set in how they have done things for so long. When you are listening intently and actively, dear ones, you are giving clear signals that you are paying attention and that you understand what is being shared. You are paying attention to body language, tone of voice, and even the pitch. Someone who is actively listening will be able to read what is not being spoken by simply observing and feeling the energy of the other person. When you are able to demonstrate empathy towards the person who is talking, you are able to sense more, process better, and respond more positively when it is your time to contribute. Listening is key to any relationship and is an important component to every part of your journey. Becoming a more in-tuned and attentive listener, you will become sensitive to what others are saying if you are in a group, or sensitive to the one who is speaking to you. You become more aware of the energy of others, even if they don't say a word. You become more understanding towards the feelings of others and demonstrate with encouraging words that you do understand and that you do care and appreciate what they are sharing, and you become accustomed to listening for more than the words that are being spoken. After you have observed the nonverbals of any interaction and you are ready to begin processing the information that was shared, you assure yourself and the ones who have been talking that you do understand, and that you have remembered what was said because you have been focused and not distracted. Processing allows you to summarize points that were shared even when there were agreements or disagreements. By summarizing, you are able to put the information into a perspective that you understand after all the listening you have applied. When it is time for you to respond, we encourage you to select words that are light, encouraging, and respectful. Even if you don't fully agree with what was shared, demonstrate that you appreciate what the other person has expressed. What we have observed is that what most people disagree with is usually from not really understanding or learning more about what was discussed. A simple lack of knowing and ignorance can create a lot of negative energy when it's really unnecessary. If you don't understand something, simply ask for clarification instead of instantly not agreeing or disliking what was shared simply because it's different from your beliefs. Remember, dear ones, each dear soul that shares your earthly home all have something equal to contribute, and what they feel is true and worthy in their hearts is deserving of appreciation and acceptance. Just because you don't understand something or share in their beliefs doesn't mean their beliefs cannot be respected. Each of you are not meant to be exactly the same, you are meant to be different in order to learn from one another. Within all your differences, there are just as many similarities, it just takes a little time and willing effort to learn. The more you are able to accept other dear souls for who and what they are, the closer you are able to recognize their divinity and oneness with your own. The more you develop your listening skill, the more empathetic you become towards others. Don't shy away from directly looking at who is doing the talking, it shows interest and focus. It also speaks that you are processing what was said and will respond if the opportunity presents itself in a confident and respectful manner. When someone is speaking to you or in a group, put aside your gadgets, stop fidgeting and allow yourself to be calm and attentive. Stop thinking ahead of what you could be doing or where you could be. Give the person who is sharing your undivided attention. When you finally clear your mind and genuinely demonstrate that you are listening, you will quickly determine how easily it is to become engaged with what is being said. Becoming an effective and attentive listener, dear ones, does take time, and this skill needs to be exercised each and every day. But when you do make the effort to improve your listening skills, you will see how your efforts have greatly improved many areas of your life and of the effect of your new skill has on your emotional and mental faculties. Interacting with others can be tough, but how you approach this part of your journey will either propel you forward or cause setbacks. To interact well does require you to listen well. Don't forget, dear ones, this is your journey. You are given many choices each day, and listening with focus and interest is one of the many choices you are given, not just once a day, as listening is required in all areas that have the potential of interactions with others. Make your journey the best it can be. Learning to interact with others will benefit you on many levels, and if you ever feel overwhelmed or unsure how to proceed, please invoke my presence and know I will guide and support you to different solutions for you to choose that will work best for you. Your journey is not a lonely one, even if at times it feels like it is. Many walk with you already, and your best companion never leaves your heart, and that dear soul is your Heavenly Father. His presence is always with you. And so it is. I am Ascended Master, El Morya, through Julie Miller. SpiritualNetworks.com